So welcome back folks, this is Shadul Gavande from Ace Knowledge, and now we will start with our part 3 of IP static routing, where we will be having large network. So let's open our Cisco packet tracer, and now we'll take PC1, you get PC0, PC1 again, then we'll take a switch, generic switch, then again we'll take some PCs, two PCs, again a switch, a generic switch, again PC. So all in one we have 6 PCs and again a switch. Okay, so let us connect this. So this is quite a big network we have, so let's connect it now. Okay, PC0 to switch, PC1 to switch, PC2 to switch, and again PC3 to switch, PC4 to switch, PC5 to switch. Okay, so let us give the IP addresses which we would be configuring. 192.168. Let's give it as 1.2. For the next PC we'll give 192. Why 192.168.1.2? Because we can't give 1.1, right? Because it is our network or default gateway address, or simply a router's address for this particular network. Fine. So now 192.168.1. We'll give 3. You can give the number range from 192.168.1.2 up till 255. Okay, so 192, and the second will give as 3. Okay, for the next PC we'll give as 192.168.2.2, and for this PC we'll say 192.168.2.3. for this 192.168.3.2, and for the last one 192.168.3.3. okay, so we have assigned the IP addresses. Let us start configuring. We'll take a desktop IP 192.168.1.2. okay, let us copy this so that it makes work faster. Okay, it was 3. No default gateway as of now, we don't have any routers. Next is for 2.2. so this is class C addressing. As you can see, 192 comes in class C. Okay, and now for this again the same. Okay, we'll say as 3.2, and for the last one 3.3. okay, so now we have connected. So let's check again. PC0 to PC1 successful, PC2 to PC3 successful, PC4 to PC5 successful. So everyone are successful. So now again from PC0 to PC2 in progress and failed. Why? Because we have not connected. So we need something called as router. So it is generic. So either generic or either 1841, any one of two, whichever gets connected. And from this to this. So you can see some difference. So we have a different wire over here. This is this particular wire, serial DC. So we have over here on the left hand side, you can see SE2/0 with the clock over here. That means we have to set a clock rate for this router while configuring. Well, here we don't have any clock rate, we have only SE serial interface 2/0. So now let's configure. So our address would be, gateway address would be 192.168 dot we'll say 1.1. okay, so this is a gateway address for this particular network. For this network we have 192.168.2.1. So default gateway address is always your network address. So our network address is, for this I'll say n/w network address as 192.168.1.0. so gateway address is always network address plus 1. For this again we have network address as 192.168.2.0. okay, so we now configure for this router. It is fa0/0. We'll get into config fa0/0, and here we'll type 192.168.1.1. we'll enable the port. Again for this we have fa1/0, so we'll go in 1/0, and here 192.168.2.1, and we'll enable the port. So now you can see the red lines are been converted to green lines. So switch is still configuring itself. Till the time we'll configure this router. So it will have gateway address as 192.168.3.1. okay, so we'll configure. So this is fa0. Which interfaces is the fa0/0. so in config again fa0/0 192.168.3.1. okay, and we'll enable the port. So let us test this routers from PC0 to router 0, successful. From PC1 to router 0, successful. From this PC to this router, in progress. Well, it will fail because you can see this green light has not been occurred because switch is taking some time to configure itself. So once it is green, it will take some more time, and then it will send the packet. So it is now green. So let us test it again. PC0 to this router, PC4 to this, successful. Okay, so from this PC to this router, okay, failed. We'll again try it from this PC to this router, successful. From this router to this PC, successful. Okay, from this router to this PC, failed. We'll again check from this router to this PC, successful. So you can check it, you can see everything is successful. So we need to configure these two routers. We have not yet configured this, so let's assign this address for this router. Let's say 10.10.0. we'll say 2. okay, and for this we'll say 10.10.0.3. so now we'll configure this router, okay, which is SE2/0. we'll get into this interface, and now we'll get into this SE2/0, and in IP address we'll type as the address which was 10.10.0.2, and we'll on this port. Similarly for this, it is SE2/0. well, we have not set the clock rate. Let's set the clock rate first, 2/0. so we'll say clock rate as 64,000. generally we keep it as 64,000. okay, so for now this 2/0, again IP address 10.10.0.3, and don't forget to enable this. So now these two routers are configured. A green light has been appeared over here. Now let's pass some packet from this to this. You can see it is showing as failed. So again static routing comes into place. What we have to do is to make this particular router aware of this particular network, right? So we'll configure this. We'll get into router 2 and we'll say static. Okay, so we can put over here directly rather than going into CLI. Earlier we have done through CLI, so we can directly configure it over here by going into config and static, and we'll pass the network. So which network is, so current which network we want to pass is, which is 192.168.3. we'll say 0. So this is our network address. Okay, As you can see, this is class C, where first 3 bits are net ID and the last one is your host ID. So this network which we have, this router needs to be aware of this particular network in order to send the packets. So this network is 192.168.3.1, whose network address is 3.0 in the last, and the mask is 255. It comes in class C, so 255.255.255.0, and the next hop, which is nothing but this 10.10.0.3, 10.10.0.3, and you can simply say add. So this is the second way of assigning static routes. So earlier we had done through CLI, so you can see automatically it comes the command which we have assigned, whatever we type over here. So there are two ways. So this is the network address which is added. If you want to remove, you can remove it. And now let's check from PC0 to this particular network. So it is showing as failed over here, so we need to configure again back this router, not only this router. Okay, so we need to configure this router also, because the packets are receiving. So we'll say in the CLI, okay, we'll perform in the CLI mode. We'll exit, and in config we'll type as say IP route my packet, to which destination I want to route is this particular 192.168.1.0, subnet mask 255.0. The next hop would be 10.10.0.2. okay, and we'll say as exit. Okay, and again in the config we'll go where is static. You can see over here the route has been added. We have to add, well, 2 routes. First one was for this network, now we need to add static route for this network. So we'll add over here itself. We'll say 192.168.1.0, sorry, not 1.0, 2.0, because we are doing for this network. Okay, 255.255.255.0, next hop 10.10.0.2, and we'll say add. Okay, so now let's pass and check it again. PC0 to PC4, in progress, failed again, and it shows failed. It is showing as failed. Okay, so we are done with everything, but still we are pending with something called as default gateway, right? We have not specified this default gateway. So 192.168.1.1, without this gateway it would not be possible. Again for this is the same 192.168.1.1. so don't forget to write this default gateway. Okay, we'll copy this because it is the same for this one also. It has differences only, say 2.2.1. okay, and for this PC the same again. For this PC we have different is 3. Copy. For this PC we have the same. Okay, so now let us try to ping or simply to pass the packet from PC0 to PC4. Successful. Okay, so the default gateway was not given, so make sure that you give the default gateway. Okay, from PC4 to PC3, successful. From PC5 to PC1, successful. Okay, from PC4 to PC0, successful. So this is how you perform IP static routing. So you need to specify IP route. Command is IP route, the address to which you want to pass the packet. Okay, then the subnet mask and the next hop of that particular router. So that's it from this video. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe.